Hello, my name is Bryce Michaels. I'm a senior at Keene State College, and today I'm heading out into the forest, basically, on the athletic campus of Keene State College to set up my wildlife cameras and sentinels to hopefully see some bobcats. So the location that I've chosen is actually a location on campus that in a class of mine a few semesters ago, we were able to identify some bobcat prints, some tracks in the snow. So because of that, yeah, I thought this was a great place to do it. I have a good feeling that I'll be able to see them here. So day one. All right, so I've gone off the path a little bit now because I spied an area that I think could be a good place for a camera. Right now what I'm looking for is kind of something that's not too far off the path because I want to make sure that I can get to this area if, heavy snow happens again. But far enough off the path that, there won't be too many humans, hopefully. As well as looking for particularly rocky outcroppings, are what bobcats like. That's like their preferred habitat. So, yeah, I found, this isn't rocks, this is more kind of stumps and dead trees and stuff, but this looks like it could be a good area to put some camera and some scent. So this is the view from this rock, or not rock, this stump here, kind of dead tree thing. So I feel like I could envision not only bobcats but all sorts of creatures walking through here. I think this is a good spot to set up number one. So this is my wildlife camera, one of the three that I'm using today, and I'm gonna set it up somewhere around here, and I'll show you when I'm done with that. And I also have in this bag the scent layer, so I'll show you that as well. All right, so I had a little bit of difficulty deciding kind of how and where to set this up so that I could, properly attach the camera. But this is the result that I've got right now. It's strapped in there. I'll go ahead and turn it on. Or well, actually, I guess before I do that, because it'll start taking a bunch of pictures of me, you can go over the scent layer here. So let me open this up. All right. So this is the scent layer. I've never used one before, so this will be my first experience with it. Should be just, oh yeah, perfect. So this is marketed, per se, as a bobcat nature call lure. Hopefully that means we'll get some bobcats. This is what it looks like. It has the directions right there on it. I got this from a place called Lennon Lures. It seemed like they had good reviews, and they had pictures on the website of bobcats that had been trapped with this. Obviously I'm not trying to trap them, but yeah, hopefully this will work. A lure typically is made up of other animals' scent glands, like skunk, as well as maybe something like fish oil, and it is going to attract a lot of animals other than the bobcat that I'm looking for, but hopefully it will attract the bobcat. Alright, technical difficulties. Thought I was filming, guess I wasn't. So I just took the scent layer here and I sprinkled it just below the camera. I don't know if you can see, there's kind of a wet spot under the moss there. So this didn't come with a dropper. I was kind of expecting there to be a dropper in the cap. So I don't have a dropper, so I just kind of eyeballed that. Hopefully that's a good amount. If anything, it was probably too much. But yeah, so it just says, at a scent post or flat set, sprinkle 20 drops on a clump of grass, tiny stump, or tree, and hollow knots using tall knots or any projection that is visibly outstanding in an open area. And yeah, use 30 drops in rainy or sub-zero weather. Yeah, so scent are made up of the scent glands, which I believe I said before, so this should work well. I'm going to open up this camera and I'm going to switch it into the on position. Up, there you go, that's what it looks like inside. And I'm going to turn it on. Might take a minute, as it usually does. And there we go. Let's see, the camera's at 71% battery. So yeah, for some reason, even though the batteries were on the charger for quite a while, none of the batteries say they're at 100% when they're actually in the camera. It says 70% for all of them. So now that camera should be good to go, and it probably may even be capturing images of me as I walk away. So there we go, there's number one. All right, I'm back out on the path. I took my mask off because I don't think I'm gonna see anyone out here. If I do, it's in my pocket. I had left it on before because, to my surprise, the athletic campus parking lot is being used for COVID vaccines today. So I didn't know that, but it's pretty cool. So I'm continuing down the path. There's the river over there, and I am scouting out more places to put my cameras. I've got 2 more to go, so I'd like to have at least one somewhere along the river. Hopefully there's a good tree or something kind of crossing the river. And yeah, I will check back in with you guys when I find a potential good spot. All right, so I've got up closer to the river, and I'm liking this tree here for a possible place to set up a camera and the lure. This is a lot closer to the path. As you can see, the path sort of goes right there. So this is closer to the path than the other camera. Not sure if that's a bad thing. I don't know how many people are walking back here, especially with the weather is going up and down right now. So yeah, I think I might try and hook it up to this tree here. If you guys can see that. So taking the tape off the top of the bottle, unscrew it, and we're gonna go, oh yeah, it does smell. We're gonna go right here. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. All right. It's getting all over the outside of the bottle. It's not ideal. So that should do it. Honestly, it doesn't smell as bad as I anticipated, but hopefully it'll attract the animal. All right, so now I'm going to open up this camera and switch this one on. Turn it on. It's hard to tell out here. The screen turned on. Yep, okay, it did. And this battery is also at 70%. And it's set to take pictures when it senses motion. So close that back up. All right, so I wanted to take a minute to tell you guys some Bobcat facts, I suppose, some information on why I'm doing this. So the Bobcat is one of the largest predators in New England. And it's found throughout the majority of the United States, some of Canada, and some of Mexico. And the species was hunted intensely in the 1950s, I believe, with a peak year in the state of New Hampshire being almost 500 cats. I believe it's like 491 cats or around that number that were killed in a single year, most likely for their fur. I know that there was payment awarded for cats and pelts that were killed. So yeah, but since then they've seen an increase in their numbers as the hunting of them was banned in the state of New Hampshire after after that very intense peak year that happened, and the population is doing better now. It's risen quite a bit actually. So this is the next location that I've decided on. So I haven't had much luck finding a rocky outcropping per se out here in the woods of the athletic campus. But I found this spot right here. I think this will do for a third spot. So I'm gonna get the camera and get it set up. There's also another nice view behind me. So yeah, let's get camera number 3. And I'm gonna figure out where in here might be the best way to strap this in. I put the scentler up in the camera, and I'm not gonna lie, the first 2 times I pulled out the scentler and used it, it smelled bad, but it wasn't terrible. That 3rd time was probably the stinkiest. That was pretty gross. So now I need to turn the camera on. I think it's missing a clasp, that's okay. Turn it on. There we go. I double checked that all the cameras were working before I left, but it's always nice to see that they're actually out here working in the field. Hopefully this spot works out. I mean, I know there's kind of a stump right here in front of it, but you know, animals should be attracted to the scentler either way, I think, and come walking up here. Try to maybe turn it that way a little bit. All right. So there we go, there's that camera, and that concludes all the cameras. Knowing the number, or at least that there's actually a presence of bobcats in any community, especially basically like Keene, so there's a good amount of people living here. It's very important that these species, we know that they are here so that we can protect the cats as well as as citizens by keeping us aware that they're here in our communities, and therefore being able to educate the people who live here about these animals, to hopefully, you know, make people not afraid of them, or at least less afraid of them, and welcome them as a very vital part of the ecosystem that we live in.